as frightening. And Chris Potter, editor of Pittsburgh City Paper, joins us because, he joins us on Wednesdays because his
August publication.
Thank you.
August publication?
I would say August.
August, so people don't think it's our August issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, again, with the weather, it could easily be our...
You could have an August.
Yes.
But I really do think the syllable change is proper. What do it? Okay, so...
so we now look good on...
We've got a new video feed, and supposedly...
our images are much sharper, though, which in my case
would that our minds were sharper. That, unfortunately, is not the case. And, okay, well...
I was relying on a certain blurriness up until this point.
Oh, I know.
I'm like that. I'm like one of those stars who, when TV went to high def, everybody's like, "Holy God, what?"
No, it's true. And I mean, when
Heather Locklear,
right? When TV went to high def,
right?
It's sort of like when the silent movies gave way to the talkies. A lot of people, fell by the wayside. And man, that high def is tough. Do you know that?
Yeah, from what I hear.
Well, being back on TV a little bit on Friday nights on WQED. However, not this Friday night because we've been booted out of the studio for some reason.
Because of last Friday show?
No, it wasn't the last Friday show. There's a special makeup that you actually have to put on your face, which has...
Oh, really?
which has silicone or something in it, which immediately... gets itself into every pore,
so it fills up all of your...
I guess. You can't with the naked eye see that. I can't see it as I put it on. Here's the weird thing about the makeup. You need special stuff to get it off.
Oh, that's where I sign off, man. So does everybody now get the makeup, though? Because when I did that show once or twice as a guest, a few times as a guest, and they just threw you on there. I was like Nixon.
Okay, well, then you went on looking plug ugly. Yeah, right. No, but they should. They shouldn't. They should make up any poor, unsuspecting guest. Because those things, I remember watching the other day, and I could see a little flake of dandruff here and there on some guy's shoulder, which you never could see something like that before.
Right. Man.
It's like a topographical map view of your face, and it's frightening. God. HD is actually more acute visually
than your own eyeballs.
Than our own eyesight.
That's amazing. So we're spending money on technology that we can't, but we still see it through our own eyesight. So how can that be?
Okay, I don't know. I just said that.
Right? Because otherwise they'd be spending money for a television image that was clearer than anyone could actually humanly perceive.
But when I have looked, stood sort of close to a really good HD TV, I'm seeing a level of crispness that I don't see in real life.
That's
Isn't
bizarre.
that possible?
Yeah, that is possible.
Okay.
But alarming.
Well, I think that's whatever.
Even better than the real thing, as they say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so here we are, Potter, you and me, and supposedly talking about
issues of the day.
That's right, the issues of the day. Speaking of issues of the day, you have a new issue out.
Yes, it's our annual music guide.
Oh, I don't care then.
No, it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, there's good stuff. If you're Lynn, have ever longed to start your own musical career, this isn't too late for you.
I did actually get paid once for a musical gig.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played. You'll like this.
Yeah.
I played the harpsichord in a smoky little dive in Evanston.
A dive bar with a harpsichord.
Harpsichord and a recorder player.
Wow.
And
so one of those Baroque dives.
Yeah, sort of weird. Yeah, a Baroque dive didn't last long. Yeah. Neither did I.
Usually bikers end up in those places. It's weird.
It was the neatest.
A lot of people don't realize, Bach was a member of Hell's Angels.
But I had my own little harpsichord.
Really?
Oh, it was so beautiful. It was actually portable in that I could unscrew the legs, get it in a car, and then take it with me.
What happened?
I had to.
You don't have it now?
I can't remember. I've sold it to somebody eventually.
That's a shame.
I know. But, you have to tune it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Every time you play it, it's a string instrument, like a violin that has, unlike a piano that keeps its tune. And I don't have a perfect pitch ear, and yet there I was, sitting in there trying to tune. And how many strings is that? So it was a pain in the neck. I couldn't deal with it anymore.
I like this idea of the dive bar, though. Like, did you have to do like a Baroque version of Freebird at some point? Play Freebird! Ding, 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 ding.
You know, in those days, my behavior was so outlandish that I really have very little memory of this.
And there'd be fights and people would like bust grog. People would like bust grog over your head or mulled wine or whatever. Is that what it was? Is that the kind of season?
No, I recall a much more sedate. I also recall there being jazz on occasion in this place. So I think it was an eclectic. Who the hell knows? It was like 1960 something.
Oh, I see.
I mean, this was forever ago. Okay. All right, so what's so funny?
I don't know. Don't shoot the harpsichord player. The Lynn Cullen story. I'm still trying to convince you to do your memoir. So see, you have all these great stories.
No, I do have great stories, and because I've been going through my drawers, as you know, every day I remember another one. So you're right. I do have to do a memoir. But a memoir can't just be one story after another, funny story after another, because that's really all I have. I can't remember the connective tissue. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I got the stories.
Right.
And
well, that is the first thing to go, they say.
Do you think it's a sign of a life well lived if you end up with a lot of funny stories?
I do.
You do?
Of course.
I sort of do too.
All of a sudden this is taking a really elegiac turn, though. Let's
pick it up.
I just feel like.
What were we talking about?
I feel like you're, exactly. I feel like you're giving me talking points for when it's my turn to come up.
You know what my mother said to my sister and I the other day? She was talking about her best friend who has recently died. A real negative about living a long life is you bury everybody you love. So her best friend succumbed.
On the other hand, you get to bury some of the people you hate as
well. That's true, too.
So there are consolations, I would think.
That's true, too. Last one, stand. But she was talking about the fact that the obit for her in the Green Bay paper totally misspelled her name. Her first name is Marcia. They called her Maria. But my mother said she had such a beautiful picture, though. I'd never seen that picture. And then my mother, there's a silence, and she says, I don't have a good obit picture. And my sister said, Mom, we don't have to talk about your obit picture now. We don't, you ain't dead. She said, I want it ready. I don't want one of those young ones.
Yeah, which always kind of sad as well.
Well, I can see where if you see the person at their essence, I don't know. But it's part of our revulsion about old age, our denial. Yes. So my mom wants one taken now that's good.
Right.
So we've set up a date. My sister's son is going to, take her obit picture. At Passover. All right, Mom, smile.
Passover.
Smile. Here it is, my obit picture.
They should use that silicone stuff in her too, just to fill in the gaps, as it were. Yes.
Oh gosh.
Dear me.
Yeah. Okay. But I can understand why somebody wants that measure of control.
Right. So, anyway, if you are interested in starting your own band, this issue of City Paper tells you, gives you hard-won advice from those who have been there.
Jeez, I can't believe there's a one-size-fits-all. Wouldn't you think that every band...
There are broad pieces of advice that are
really?
Generally applicable across all the various genres of music. Although, in fairness, we don't have anything about harpsichord players in there. Looking back on it now, it seems like an obvious omission, but...
Well, you can, whatever. Pass along to producer.
Uh-oh. This is an email coming in from our...
Here we go. We're passing it along. Okay. The video stream.
But the audio-only version is still carrying yesterday's show with Susan. You might actually be better off with that.
Wait a minute. Why isn't the audio stream up?
It is. The audio is working. The video wasn't working.
The video stream is carrying today's show, but the audio-only version is still carrying yesterday's show with Susan. That's all I'm saying.
That is not correct. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ansel. We have passed it along. If anybody's wondering why the show's not really started, have you noticed
that? May be it. The audio stream may just have recognized that we haven't really hit our stride yet 10 minutes into this. So let's go.
Did you see the YouTube video of a psychotic conservative Christian preacher named Dennis Terry making blasphemous statements in the pulpit before introducing Rick Santorum in a church in Louisiana?
I did not.
No, he did not.
Goodness.
Well, don't just tell us about it. Send it to us.
What were the blasphemous remarks? There was a good piece in the paper today, reprinted, about how it was actually something we've talked about how Rick Santorum is actually underperforming with Catholic voters.
Totally.
Yeah, it was interesting.
The Catholics, he's more Catholic than the Pope. And you know what? A lot of Catholics don't even, they don't listen to what the Vatican
says. That's the argument of the piece, is that he's speaking for, and we've talked a little bit about this, that being questioning what bishops say and bishops' ability to bully people around isn't necessarily the same thing as being anti-Catholic at all. And I think that the church's comportment on a variety of issues has made that distinction pretty clear. And so the argument of this column was, by catering to the bishops, by emulating that, he's actually alienated himself from a lot of just sort of rank and file Catholic voters. So
I would like to show you something that I received in the mail yesterday.
Oh, it's your court-ordered official reassessment.
This is an Allegheny County, it says, Republican Party area assessment. I no more comprehend this than, first of all, they also want money at the end.
What the hell is this?
Well, yeah, you tell me. Here's the letter. Dear fellow Republican.
Sounds like they want to reassess.
Listen to this. You are among a handful of Republican voters in your county selected to participate in this assessment.
You should do it.
I'm the only person, you are the only citizen living in your unique voting district to receive this enclosed document. So your participation is very important, okay?
Wow.
And then you look at the questions they ask, and you talk about how, you often hear...
Oh, this is good. Let's see.
You often hear how polls say most Americans feel this way or that way, and then a sober mind might say, yes, but how was the question asked? Because you look at the way these questions are asked.
Economic issue question. Do you believe spending cuts, not in capital letters, tax hikes, are the best way to deal with the national debt, which has skyrocketed to a record high $15 trillion under the Democrats?
Yeah, that's not a leading question. I mean, they clearly point to what the proper answer is.
Are you against the card check bill that would force more workers into unions? Oh, dear me, yes.
Okay.
Oh, we got a call here. I thought you were voting in favor of being against the card check.
You mean we're going to find out that somebody else got this too, so I'm not the only one? Hello?
Hey, that emailer was correct. The video feed is live, but the audio feed is the show from yesterday. And it says the archive video from yesterday with Susan is not up.
Do you believe
it? I listened to it, but I'm very angry now that I can't see how beautiful you and Susan look together, so I could compare and contrast,
Wait, Susan was here?
Yesterday in this very chair.
How come you didn't bring her up to meet? I would have liked to have met her.
Okay.
Jeez. Never mind. Well, now I'm upset.
Okay, we're very...
That's it. I'm stalking out of the hell with this. Ouch. I actually just hurt myself doing
I was informed today that, for some reason, of course, that video, the one that a lot of curious people wanted to see, Susan, it doesn't exist.
It's too much loveliness.
Now,
for it's the like internet. The picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She's a figment of our imagination, and I don't want you to think that she actually does exist. Actually, I am Susan.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like the Anthony Perkins thing. When Susan calls in, you don't see Lynn moving her mouth on the other side. It's just
okay. It's okay. Is that right?
Well, I actually really called. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I actually really called because when you held up that city thing, I thought you were going to say something. Look, I was totally for, and I voted for the library tax, right?
Right.
But why would they have to spend money to send you a separate bill for the library. Couldn't they just put that on your city tax and just add it on?
Michael, before you have a coronary here.
I'm gonna.
I think there's a lot of talk about it because, first of all, that will not happen again. So that next year, that bill it'll be wrapped into your regular
assuming the city can be trusted to pass the money along.
There was a sense that this was done by the mayor's office, who did not support the referendum, and that this is him. First of all, letting everybody know, see, here's what you get. You get a whole other tax bill. It also, the library is very upset about it because they figure a lot of people are not going to pay it. They're going to look at this and say, to hell with this.
Yeah, I didn't vote for that. Just throw it away.
They're not going to be able to enforce people's refusal to pay. Also, the city charged the library some rather large fee.
Handling fees, right.
And when it was asked why they said their computers weren't up to snuff, they couldn't redo the blah, blah, blah. But whatever, it will never happen again.
And how does that help him at all? I mean, that little son of a that somehow became mayor because somebody died. Well, actually, we dodged a bullet because that moron died. That would have been our mayor.
Hey,
Thank
stop.
God.
Hey. What side of the bed did you get up on today?
I don't know. The last time I called you, I was all riled up, too. I don't know. But, no, seriously.
You're speaking
I was kind of upset about that. Well, and you know what? For some reason, I did wake up this morning thinking about how awful our mayors were. And they all just stay in there until they die of some disease, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, they die prematurely.
Yeah, well.
They do.
So it's kind of a God's term limit.
Mysterious things. Yeah, right.
Yeah, amyloidosis.
Amyloidosis.
What even is that? No one dies of that.
Yeah, but we all found out what it was. And then no sooner did Caligiuri die of amyloidosis, whatever it was, then the mayor of Erie succumbed when no one had ever even heard of it before. It was very odd. It was taking mayors out all over western Pennsylvania.
Well, if only we could have that disease run through our state Senate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? You know who's still standing? Speaking of the last one standing? Sophie.
You know what? I thought of that, too, this morning. I thought,
you
know what? She was the only one that wasn't voted out or taken out. She just, decided to leave.
She's the only one who walked out?
You can still see her walking down in the Strip District.
No, Murphy
did. Murphy
stepped down voluntarily.
Oh, yeah. He was so bland, I forgot. He moved to the suburbs, right?
No, he's moved.
But don't you feel like somewhere out there, Tom Murphy's feeling pretty good about himself by comparison right now? That's what I always thought is like 4 years of Bob O'Connor and or Luke Ravenstall, people are going to be thinking Murphy looks pretty good.
Well, he kind of did the George Bush thing. He just kind of disappeared and never to be heard from again. At least Sophie's still around the city and lives here and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. My guess is he's probably kind of bitter. I mean, I remember going to I went to the first game. It wasn't the first official game. It was a preseason game at Heinz Field. But it was the first major sporting event at that facility, which, of course, he was probably the guy single-handedly who drove that thing more than anyone else. And, he came out at the beginning, and everybody booed him. I thought that's tough, man. I was against this and all that stuff, but, you got to give the guy his moment in the sun.
Oh, well, Lynn, what's the word? Someone you know, and you always use the word, too, to describe him. It wasn't prickly. There was a word.
It wasn't prickly?
I think it was prickly.
No.
It wasn't.
Because I remember saying it was half.
And you know what? It was not my word. It was.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't yours, but it perfectly described him.
Came up with it. And, no, I'll think of it. It wasn't prickly, but it was somebody who's just quick. What? I'll think of it, but not at the moment.
Speaking of us, aging and stuff, I always thought my epitaph, or what I wanted my epitaph to be, was encore, encore. Like I want more, but I think I changed it now. I want to just change it to wasted talent.
That's not true.
Yeah, this broadcast is.
Hey, by the way, hey, Michael,
almost.
I don't suppose you were interviewed for this music thing about how to make a band, huh?
Well, because the feed was screwed up, I missed the beginning of the show, but I heard the new issue is like how to start a band or something. And I can't wait to read it. Yeah, 'cause I got to do that.
Maybe you could go back and start all over again.
Really, do it right this time.
See, I always thought it was just sort of organic. It's nothing I really thought of. It was just a venue that I would not be... Given my proclivities and my eccentricities, it was like the only thing that I could really do that I wasn't an outcast in. It was, something... It was a world that kind of accepted me the way that I was, and so it was really kind of my only sort of venue to do anything in life.
But
I had to be in a band. I was born that way.
I felt the same way about when people would say, "Well, how did you get into talk radio?" I stumbled into everything I did. By virtue of choices you make because of who you are. If you're lucky, you end up doing what you should do, right?
Well, see, that's why you're so good at it, and you're such a natural. It's just comes naturally to you.
I never listened to talk radio. The first time I did a talk radio show, I remember protesting as they shoved me into the studio. I said, "I've never even listened to one of these shows. I don't know what it is you do."
Yeah, but see, Lynn, you're a performer. You're a natural performer, and that's why I understand you. When in your real life, you're more of a recluse and a quiet, thoughtful person, and then when you need to perform, you're just on, and that's just the way it works when you're an entertainer.
But don't you feel, Michael, that the world, when Lynn Cullen was shoved into that broadcasting booth, that the world lost a talented harpsichordist?
I don't know. I think you're referencing something in the show that I didn't get the feed on.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's
no. He asked if I said I had a band once.
He played the harpsichord in a dive bar, apparently, which is one thing in your checkered, long storied career you probably have never done. Right? Have you ever played the harpsichord before a live audience?
No, but I understand that Lynn does play piano.
See, she does, but she apparently had her own portable harpsichord.
Yes, I did. It was beautiful.
Well, isn't a harpsichord sort of like Baroque piano, sort of? Sound?
But it's like a piano, only it doesn't have... It was the precursor to a piano, so you can't... You're plucking... You're literally... When you press one of the keys, you don't get a piano sound. You get a pluck of a string.
And you can't control the volume. That's why a piano is called a piano, because it's short for pianoforte, which means loud, soft, right?
Loud and soft.
Soft, loud, I guess.
Right. So. Piano allowed you, for the first time, to put some, feeling into it.
No, well, I love the harpsichord. It has this amazing sort of, very stark sound.
Right.
And it was also the instrument used on the theme for the Addams Family that was way superior to the Munsters.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Morticia Addams did it for
the Addams Family.
That's the difference.
Da-da-da-da.
That's the harpsichord? Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da?
Yes, I believe Lurch played the harpsichord.
I thought he played the organ, but I could easily be wrong.
Oh, you might be
That show was all about Morticia Addams for me. She was hot.
She was hot.
I went for that goth thing back in those days.
Yeah.
She was goth before goth was cool, man.
Yeah, she was.
Well, wasn't the story that Wednesday did some pornos at one point?
Oh, no, that can't be.
I think so, yeah.
Who did porn?
Wednesday, the daughter.
I never watched.
We have to talk to Tom Sokolowski about this because, Lynn, I wanted to give you a book recommendation at one point, and it was that Hollywood Babylon book.
Yes.
Have you ever read those?
Yes.
There's Hollywood Babylon 1 and 2, and I met that author, who is also a filmmaker, at one of these wonderful things that Tom did at the museum.
Yeah.
He used to bring great speakers and stuff, and Kenneth Anger was there once.
Right.
And the place was so packed that I had no seat. And Kenneth Anger just took me by the arm because, he's kind of, lighting the loafers. And he was like, "Here, little boy, sit next to me." And I sat at his feet during the entire screening that he did. And then he took me out later. We went to the bar, across the street from the Warhol Museum. Had that restaurant bar there.
The Italian,
great.
What's that place?
There were so many great people that came there and spoke. But that was really a highlight of my life, meeting Kenneth Anger. And he always said then that he was going to do a Hollywood Babylon 3, which he is still alive and he has yet to do. But it was going to contain stories about Tom Cruise and, more like modern people in Hollywood and stuff.
Cool. So Lighten the Loafers, that's what my father used to say, but I didn't know that. Is that a... Do people know that phrase?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the hip young thing now.
Oh, it is? Lighten the Loafers?
Yeah, the other thing kids are saying these days is 23 skidoo.
Oh, that's so funny.
No, I'm making that up.
No.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Okay, there was a friend of my father's that we always called 23 skidoo.
Yeah, you told that story.
I have an appointment this afternoon to get my loafers lightened.
What is happening to this show?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're out of here.
All right, I'm sorry. I just wanted to...
Always a pleasure. Bye. Bye.
I don't know what that meant. I guess we could have played along another few seconds.
For those who might not know, Michael is the
dynamic front man.
Yes, the front man for The Cynics. Probably, that's a band that's been going for ever and plays all over the world because, they can't get a gig here.
That's not true. They can get gigs here.
Yeah, but they're more appreciated in Spain and I don't know what it is.
So is my work, for that matter. I apparently read better in translation. Go. Yeah.
Hello.
Another caller.
Yes, this is Clarence from Canonsburg.
Oh, my God. What a day we're having here.
Well, I just wanted to reiterate that Morticia Addams was hot.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I watched the show, and that it was superior to the Munster.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and it was a harpsichord that Lurch was playing.
It was a harpsichord?
Okay.
Definitely was a harpsichord.
And that's all you called to say?
Yeah, that's literally it. That Morticia Addams
is hot. I'm telling you,
hot.
Finger on the pulse, baby.
And you got to think about how old we were when this thing was on.
Okay, so how
old? We were just little kids.
Okay,
we were
how
kids.
old were you? So
I don't know. I think when I saw the show,
I was watching Addams Family in repeats. It was probably like 8 years old or something like that for me.
That's about right.
Single digits. Okay, and you had the hots for her.
Yeah, it probably went in this order: Bewitched, Samantha Stevens, Morticia Addams, and Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah, that's the order.
I see that.
Samantha Stevens was definitely it for me, though. Yeah. I've been looking for a witch all my life now.
I had a crush on Dr. Kildare.
Who?
Yeah, that is. That shows. They never even run that in reruns.
No, I know they don't.
Yeah,
Richard Chamberlain.
Oh, I see.
Who, of course, was gay.
What? Not Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah, gay.
I was talking about, I was talking about childhood crushes one time with my little sister, and she said, "What did you think of June Cleaver?" And I went, "Ew, that was Beaver's mom."
Yeah, right. No, that's weird. I could see a certain kind of fetish kind of thing. For
For
June
she
Cleaver.
was a mother. She was a mother to me. She didn't.
Right.
Yeah, she was Beaver's mom. That just didn't make any sense.
So you're not going to get excited about somebody's mom?
Nah, like Beaver was my age, so that was Beaver's
that's weird.
mom.
No, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
That's just weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Thanks,
That's
man.
it.
Thanks,
Hey,
Clarence.
thanks.
Good call.
You're welcome.
Clarence.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know about Samantha.
Whatever this is, I just want to tell you it's half over.
Really? Okay. It flies right by when you're absolutely doing nothing whatsoever.
Well,
this is good. This is.
You want that? No, you don't want
that. I don't know.
Okay,
let's see
that.
some other questions. No, there's another call. It's hopping. The switchboards are firing up.
Go ahead. Hi.
Go ahead, caller. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Oh man.
Hello.
That's it. It's over. Let's see. Do you support? Let's ask the audience. Do you support new protections for religious freedom so that religious employers are not forced to pay for abortion-inducing drugs, as the Obama administration is ordering them to do? Well, goodness gracious.
What
would that Obama administration? What will they come up with next? There was a thing in the, I guess in Arizona. They're taking the next logical step on this whole thing, which is they're gonna. They want to make it okay to fire people if an employer finds out that they use birth control, even if they pay for it in their own money.
Every day there's another one of these things where you think, what?
Yeah.
I mean, Tennessee, they got a bill going in which the health department would have to post the names of every abortion doctor and patience and their history. I mean, it's so clearly unconstitutional. And it occurred yesterday, we were talking about this a little bit. We're talking about a medical procedure, a legal medical procedure. Name me another legal medical procedure in which people are harassed by law before they can access it.
Right.
Name me another.
You can't. You can't.
Well, it's...
So in Tennessee, then, when a doctor who provides abortions gets killed, can the legislators be brought up as accessories for murder?
Of course not.
Right, because they were acting under official cover.
That's right.
Blah, blah, blah,
of course not. So a lot of people sent us this thing, but I don't know when we can watch it. We'll watch it later.
Blasphemy!
Speaking of Republican laws, okay, well, you know what? Let's get a break out of the way. Want to come back?
And then we'll come back, be all pissed off and ready to go.
Yeah, we will. I have been avoiding the subject because I simply can't deal with it.
All right.
It's so upsetting to me. Okay,
we'll get through this.
We will. And, of course, it has to do with that wonderful Florida law that is termed, only in this country could such a law exist, the Stand Your Ground law.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com or call Lynn at 412-316-3381. Lynn Cullen Live will return in a moment.
Pittsburgh City Paper's annual music guide is available now. Pick up one today for an inside look at the music scene in Pittsburgh. Plus Tosca, The Monster in the Hall, and Go Radio. Pittsburgh City Paper available at over 1,700 locations throughout Western Pennsylvania and on the web at pghcitypaper.com.
It takes 12 years to create a graduate. It takes about the same time to create a dropout. And at the end of the day, the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be you. Studies prove that reading to a child regularly dramatically improves reading skills. And kids who read well by 3rd grade are 4 times as likely to graduate. So United Way is asking you to make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because when a child advances, we all advance. Communities improve. The path to success starts long before graduation day. And the difference between a graduate and a dropout could be you. Be a reader, tutor, or mentor. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org now. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Now, it's back to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com.
Okay, so before we get to this stand your ground, here's more fun from the Republicans. This is that video that you were... I can't... I'm obviously not going to do the video now, but here is some of what this minister said while apparently introducing Rick Santorum.
Yeah! Healy!
I don't care what the liberals say. I don't care what the naysayers say. This nation was founded as a Christian nation. There's only one God, and his name is Jesus. I'm tired of people telling me that I can't say those words. What? What?
Right.
Okay, wait.
He said.
He said. Okay.
Wookie.
Okay, listen to me. If you don't love America, if you don't like the way we do things, I have one thing to say. Get out! We don't worship Buddha. We don't worship Mohammed. We don't worship Allah. We worship God. We worship God's Son, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Whew. I guess he told
Fiery
us.
words from a man of passion.
Okay, well, I got to see this whole thing at some point. He offered words about abortion, gay marriage, and prayer in schools, shouting about sexual perversion and putting God back in Washington, as Senator Santorum was seen clapping, if not cheering, in the background. Oh, my God.
Yes, exactly. Actually, not your God.
Oh, and there he is at the end. There,
you could go to some other country if you like.
And then at the end, there he is.
He's being prayed all over.
He's got his hands on Rick, and he's saying, "God have favor on Rick." Good God. Okay.
I'm excited about where this country's headed.
No, I just, really, what the hell?
I'm tired of...
No, I don't know how any self-respecting human being can affiliate with the Republican Party right now. I mean, the only way to fix them is to get out.
Yep.
Get out. Do not support any of their candidates. Get out. They've got to be pulled back. They're frightening. They're absolutely insane. They've gone over the totally deep end. Okay, and they stand for laws. All this nonsense that's going on in states now with birth control and with voter ID, this is all coming out of that institute, that thing.
The American Legislative...
Yeah, whatever that
Legislative Exchange Council? I can't
Something
remember what the
like
E stands
that.
for.
So now state laws are being sort of codified in this little, basement in Washington and passed out to all these Republican-controlled legislatures, and we're all getting the same crap legislation. And because idiots, those are called voters, have given state legislatures overwhelmingly over to these Republicans, this is the kind of stuff we get. One of these bills is the Stand Your Ground.
Although it should be called the Stand Your Ground, even if you have to chase somebody 2 blocks or whatever to assert it.
Well, what it is this is the Castle you remember we did the Castle Doctrine recently. Now the Castle Doctrine is liberal.
Right.
Stand Your Ground takes it another step further. There are now 21 states that have this kind of thing. This is legislation written up by, of course, the National Rifle Association. And the NRA has put this one out, and all they need is, one Republican to take it and usher it through. And they got the Republican governors who signed this crap.
Right.
Okay, so here's what the Stand Your Ground law does. Obviously, it allows the killing of perfectly innocent boys who are walking home with candy in their pocket. Okay, now we've had our own little thing here of a similar. You've heard about driving while black. I don't know how black mothers handle the stress of watching their sons walk out the door. I don't know. I look at these boys sometimes on the bus.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, dear God, how your mothers must worry. Because this Treyvon Martin's crime was clear. He was a black male in a hoodie.
Right.
He was a black male in a hoodie, and that, by definition, is threatening. And all you need is to feel threatened with the Stand Your Ground bill in Republican Florida to blow an innocent child out of the world. So here's what this does. Now, imagine this. This is a law that gives, try to get this in your head. It gives the benefit of the doubt to a person who claims self-defense regardless of whether the killing occurs on a street, in a car, in a bar, not just in one's home. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is say, I felt threatened, I was defending myself, and you know what else? The older laws used to say, if you feel threatened, the first thing you have a duty to do is try to remove yourself from the situation. Well, that's considered bull by these macho types. That's why it's called Stand Your Ground. Because now, according to this law, you feel threatened, you don't have to retreat. In fact, you can do the opposite, I guess, because this guy started
chasing him down.
Chasing him. The guy who did the shooting was in his car, and he was armed, and a boy was walking home. And no charges have been filed in this just brutal murder because the law actually gives cover to the murderer.
Yeah. You know how to change that law?
Oh, yeah.
Have a black guy shoot a white kid.
That's right. Well, no. I mean, obviously. That's right.
That's it. Sorry, I felt threatened.
I've not been able to talk about this story because I become, I don't know, the emotion I feel is rage, is unbearable sorrow for this child and his family.
And his girlfriend who was on the
phone. And he was talking to her and saying, this guy's following me.
Yeah,
He was frightened.
He was threatened.
He was the threatened one.
And the part that really bugs me is I have absolutely no confidence that anything will be done to change that law as a result of this.
Well, now, wait a minute. Don't you believe, first of all, the feds are coming in? Don't you think? So they'll get this guy on a federal
they'll get the guy. They'll get the guy in a federal charge.
But the law won't go away.
But the law won't change.
Wow.
The law won't change. There's probably somebody on a right-wing talk radio station at this very moment down there in Florida talking about
defending
how the feds,
this law.
And not even defending the law so much as just attacking the feds for interfering. This is why it's important to elect a Republican, even though Barack Obama has done jack shit in terms of gun control legislation in his first term of office. But that's apparently, according to these guys, just all leading us to a false sense of security. And then they'll come for our guns.
See, it's stuff like this where I think we're beyond the pale now. We've gone over into a kind of madness. And, again...
and good people are doing nothing. That's the other side of it. Where, Occupy came and went. When's the last time anybody down in Florida went to a town hall meeting and accosted the representatives and the state senators? I assume they have a state senate down there who voted for this thing. Like, when will that happen? And until that happens, nothing will change. And that's it. That's on us.
Oh, no, but they firebombed a state senator's office in Texas because she was apparently supporting women's rights to have access to birth control.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's oh God. Okay, back to it was so depressing.
It is. Beth
writes, and these emails will drop back into what we had been talking about. This is in regard to that crazed minister. Beth writes, yes, little Ricky came to Baton Rouge wearing his LSU wear this past Sunday. He attended one of the many mega churches down here. During the service, one of the pastors went on an anti-liberal rant and stated to love this Christian nation or leave it. I was impressed because as the congregants left, most of their comments were, we like him as a Christian, but he did not talk about Afghanistan, the economy, and other issues. The one thing I love about this area is that maybe the way people believe down here, but they... What?
This may be the way people believe down here, but they do not like to be told how to live
their lives. From the clips of Rick's speech, he was doing a lot of telling.
Yeah.
This could be Rick's right moment.
Yeah, Jeremiah, right.
That's from Beth. And you got the word. Thank you.
Peevish.
The word for
Murphy
was peevish. Isn't that perfect?
Yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
It was peevish. So there you go, Mike. That's just a wonderful word and clearly the right one. Okay, Margaret had the hots for Jeannie.
Just too much of a...
No?
I don't know.
I didn't like any. I never watched.
Me,
I never watched TV in the 70s, so I don't have any opinion on any of these things. I had more important things to do.
Sure, of course you did. Yeah, you're practicing the harpsichord.
That's correct. Ray writes, when a species... I always have trouble with that word. When a species...
Species.
What do you say? Species?
Yes.
You don't say she's?
No.
Species. You think it's species?
I don't know.
What do you say, Jess? Species. You do the sh. Species. What do you say? Oh, that's a specious argument?
I never use the word.
You say specious.
I never use the word if I can help
Okay, well, here it is. When a species feels that it is in danger of extinction, it will attempt to breed at an alarming rate. do you think that the fear of birth control is a sign that the morons on the right feel endangered and unconsciously need to defensively breed new morons? No.
No, because...
No, although...
They'd be happy if we if we stopped reproducing.
Well, but we have.
Right.
And what I've been pointing out is we're heading, if you look demographically, we're heading into real dangerous territory because the people that are procreating, because they don't believe in birth control, are fundamentalists of all religions. So for Jews, you get, 10 Orthodox little babies born for every one secularized Jewish baby. And, just do the math.
Right.
And that's the same in the Muslim world, and it's the same in the Christian world. Do the math, because the true believers are, fucking up a storm.
The meek shall inherit, Lynn.
Jesus.
Exactly.
I ask you. Okay, Michael has emailed back. But look, Michael and Clarence have both emailed. It wasn't enough that they totally absconded with the show. Now they're emailing.
There you go.
Okay, Michael says, Morticia Addams was played by the beautiful Carolyn Jones, who was the sister of famous and beautiful actress Jennifer Jones. Oh, I didn't know that.
It was the daughter, Wednesday.
Daughter in the Addams family.
Pornos in the 70s.
It was the daughter in the Addams family who did pornos. Well, I'll be.
Along with Cindy from the Brady Bunch.
Okay. And Clarence writes about Stand Your Ground. I don't know if you recall, but I remember when you brought up this law years ago, I said that I would stay out of Florida because I was born a threat.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Man, there's so many good reasons to stay out of Florida, though, aren't there?
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I have this running thing about it, which I refuse to.
You won't go there. You won't spend a red cent there.
No. Fuck those people.
Thank you. Wow, it's a second fucking... I had a nun on here.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I did.
A Benedictine.
Yeah. And she, in the course of the conversation, said, "Well, yeah, I was listening to your show yesterday." So she was listening. I'm thinking, "Oh no!" God.
And she came anyway.
She came anyway.
Daniel in the lion's den.
Wow. So she listens, and I'm like, fuck.
She said she'd swear back at you.
Yeah, she did. Sister Susan, you're my hero. She's a grandmother. They don't make nuns like her anymore. I mean, they don't make... No, they do make nuns like her. She was married. She has 6 children.
And then she became a nun.
She became a nun after her kids were grown. Huh. The husband was gone. And she just felt she needed to do something, and she took a long time coming to it, but she actually became a nun.
I didn't know that was an option.
It is.
Huh.
And she admits that some of the old school nuns look at her, probably like a Jezebel or something. Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so you got these more worldly, older nuns coming into these orders.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so I think that's it. I just really...
Stand your ground.
God, these bastards. Okay. I'm going to cede some ground right here because we've got to take a quick break. And we'll be right back.
Stick around for more with Lynn Cullen Live after this.
Go to BergBargains.com for great deals to Vegas. BergBargains.com, Pittsburgh's only online deal site where the deals don't expire. BergBargains.com.
Sewickley Med Spa is Pittsburgh's newest med spa, offering the latest in skincare treatments and medical-grade skincare products. Their providers have years of experience with aesthetic treatments and technologies such as Botox, Restylance, Juvederm, chemical peels, Retin-A, and spider vein treatments. They offer a discreet, personalized environment with only the best quality proven services and products. Call them today for a free consultation. 412-259-8628. The Sewickley Med Spa. 412-259-8628.
Now, it's back to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com.
All right, Lynn Cullen back with Chris Pata. I was thinking, Susan she's going to have to come here tomorrow because I have to take her to the airport immediately after the show tomorrow.
Oh, then get her.
So maybe Tom we'll hang her. We can maybe Sokolowski will be here, but we can maybe hang her from the ceiling right about here.
This could be like a Lady Liberty figure or something, just sort of descend from the...
Okay, I don't know if you heard about this Robert DiNero getting into a little bit of a...
Oh, for his remarks about...
Now, how absurd is this? Robert De Niro introducing Michelle Obama makes a little joke. He's talking about...
Which I don't entirely get.
Well, here's the Wall Street Journal writing it. This is where I heard it, so I don't know anything more than what I'm about to read. Right. Actor Robert De Niro opened a Monday fundraiser starring Michelle Obama by listing her Republican rivals. So he must have talked about Karen Santorum and what's her name, and the others. And he suggested that he wasn't sure if America was ready for a white first lady. Well, I think that's sort of funny.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's no big deal. Because, of course, the question is an absurd question. But it didn't seem to be an absurd question 4 years ago when the question was America ready for a black first lady? So he thought he'd have a little fun with it. Now, I don't see any problem. Well, of course, Newt Gingrich. I think that Robert De Niro's wrong.
I think America is ready for a white first lady.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on. The country is ready for a new first lady, and he doesn't have to describe it in racial terms. And even
says the guy who's also propounded on the notion that perhaps Barack Obama was so infused with Kenyan separatist rhetoric that was the only way he could be understood. He thinks it's inappropriate to talk about presidential candidates in racial terms. Just wanted to put that out there.
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Gingrich said that the president should be held accountable for De Niro's remark. As well as gas prices and the fact that, Gingrich has been constipated for 3 days and any other ailment or, mishap that occurs. Obama did not apologize, but his campaign has
disavowed the remarks.
We believe the joke was inappropriate, said Mrs. Obama's campaign press secretary. Well, I just feel like I want to write Robert De Niro, who I'm sure doesn't give a shit anyway.
No.
And just say, don't let the jerks get you.
But this is the whole way. I mean, anyone who thinks about it for 2 seconds realizes, what's going on here, which is they're trying to not just change the subject from Rush Limbaugh and all that stuff, but also sort of define accountability downward. Rush Limbaugh gets on the air for 3 days in a row for 3 hours at a pop and talks about Sandra Fluke as a prostitute. And now what they're going to do is they're going to find any damn thing they can to just muddy the waters and then to toss some red meat to the people on their side so they have something to get worked up about. Because in American politics, what defines the truth or falsehood, apparently, of an utterance is how worked up you can act about it and how worked up you can get the people on your side about it. That's all that counts, is just working up your side. This is not about convincing anyone of anything except maybe convincing your own supporters that they don't have anything to apologize for. So go back and listen to Rush Limbaugh and laugh when he calls people hookers and whores and whatnot, because De Niro made a joke about first ladies. That's it. That's the whole way it works.
Okay, I followed that, I think.
Yeah, that's why too, like every time it was Whitewater Gate, everything's a gate, right? It's partly because media are lazy and can't think of new answers, but the other thing is when Republicans toss around gate like that, they're not only trying to hype up the scandal du jour, they're also trying to minimize the significance of Watergate itself.
True.
And it's just this sort of verbal, it's just emptying out language and discourse of all its meaning. That's what it is.
And that pisses me off. I don't like language being...
Right.
I like to stand up for language, Well, I've said often, we use words incorrectly all the time, so we take all meaning away from, so everybody's extraordinary, everyone's a hero who puts a uniform on, everybody, it's just... if everyone's a hero because you put a uniform on, well then what? We need a word for a hero.
Yeah.
Man, I got to tell you, I'm always bragging about my old mom, but this woman, 101 years old, just got the Guinness Book of World Records for being the oldest person to do a tandem paraglide.
Now, a solo paraglide would really impress me. All she's got to do is hang in there, right? Doesn't work.
Oh, see, we got that. You got that. Did you ever do a paraglide?
I have not.
I did.
So I'm talking out of it.
I mean, I think I did. Is that what I did when I went up and was dragged around in the air by a boat?
By a motorboat, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I did a tandem, too.
Right.
And there's nothing to it. You're not hanging, you're sitting.
Right, so we're minimizing this old lady's accomplishment is what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, we are. My mom can do that, too. I'm going to tell my mom to hang in there, and when my mom's 102, we're taking that record down. And I'll go up with her, too. Hello?
Hello, caller.
Hey, Lynn, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
This is Floyd from Braddock.
Oh, hi, Floyd.
I used to call you some years ago.
Yes, you did. You were a great caller.
You know, I was listening to you earlier when you said mothers feel bad when their sons, when their black sons leave the house. And fathers feel the same way.
Sure.
My son was murdered in 2009 in Braddock. And by a kid who had a gun. And, of course, they never found who did it, And so I see black kids being murdered by other black kids.
Yeah.
Cops getting away with beating the hell out of them if they don't kill them, too. And now the average citizen could just walk up and pop,
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. It's... And as a father, if I was the guy's father, in
Florida,
I'd be in jail because I'd go shoot the guy.
Yeah. It'd be sure hard not to.
Yeah.
Well,
or apparently you could just say you felt threatened by him, and then
and understandably you felt threatened by him.
So
absolutely. Just track him down and gun him down.
That guy's still walking the streets.
You don't have to retreat. It's madness.
Yes,
but yes, I didn't mean to discount the love and concern of fathers for their sons. It's just that.
I know that. Yeah. I mean, these days kids could get guns quicker than the parents could get food stamps if they need them. So
right.
It's so awful.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm so sorry, and it's good to hear you again. Thank you.
It's good talking with you. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Bye bye. I haven't heard from that guy in a long time. He's a very smart guy. Good call.
And we have not only is it easier for kids to get guns than to get onto a food stamp program, but you have a Republican Party who's anxious to make it harder to get food stamps and easier to get guns too. That is the priorities.
Yeah, that's right.
That is the priorities.
More emails. When I use a word, Humpty Dumpty said in a rather scornful tone, it means just what I choose it to mean. Neither more nor less.
Lewis Carroll.
And that's wonderful. Yeah. And Ray says, we're dealing with a lot of Humpties. That's a great one. Oh, wow. Lewis Carroll.
You had another one there, too. You got to click your inbox, though.
Hey.
Sorry.
Jeez. And Kathy writes... But don't you think that of 19 little Duggars, there will be at least 2 homosexuals, and at least half will be disenchanted with the whole extremist Christian thing, and another quarter will be only half-hearted Christians?
Right.
I went to Catholic school and recently reunited with about 20 women that I graduated from the school with. 18 no longer went to church at all.
Yes, right.
10 or so were very liberal atheists. Being raised by extremists can create adults that are not even close to the same as their parents. Okay, that's a hopeful way of looking at things. But I got to tell you, I've seen some of these families up close and personal, and there's an awful lot of apples there that ain't falling far from the tree.
Yeah.
They're brainwashed from day one, and they never... And you know what? There's actually a phrase that I heard one of these people say about their girls. Keeping them in the box. And they literally don't want them out into the world. Don't allow culture, any popular culture in, no television watching except things not going to a public school, mixing with the wrong people. Constant religious observation with, all of that. You can, and then marry those girls young. Marry them off young and have them start procreating. And you'd be surprised. I don't know. Some of the real fundamental. Do you think Rick Santorum's kids are going to rebel?
I mean, already one of them's out on the campaign trail with him. His daughter is.
That's not rebelling.
No, I know. I'm saying that.
Yeah,
that's the opposite. So.
Hey, but I'll, okay, Kathy, if you want to be positive about it, but yeah, I like the idea of all those 19 little Duggars. There's got to be definitely some light in the loafers, as Mike said.
Just don't mention that to Duggar, because then he'll start trying to out them around the dinner table or whatever.
I've never seen that show. Have you ever seen these Duggars?
No.
Do you know who they are?
I know of them.
Yeah, me too.
It's a cable thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cable thing.
I don't have cable.
Okay.
Back off.
You're like Brian O'Neill, who wrote about the joys of basic cable. You don't even have that.
And it's not like I have some anti-TV snobbery. I'm too cheap.
That is it.
Yeah, you're too cheap. I don't know.
But not even basic cable? Do you see how much it costs? Nothing. And you see what you get? Wait a minute.
Nothing.
Because you like all those stupid shows. For $11 a month, listen to what you get. Here's the weeknight lineup from 7 to 11. MASH, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke, Bob Newhart, That Girl, Cheers, The Odd Couple, and The Twilight Zone.
No. Actually, that is digital. That I do get, because that's not cable. That's what you get if you have all you get is the digital the digital aerial thing. So there are channels now, and you get them on a regular TV set. So do you remember when TV went to that digital format?
Yes.
So they added. It's now possible for these TV stations to split their signal. So I think he's talking about Channel 11 has like a Channel 11 too, and those programs are on it, because my wife's a big what was one of the bar one?
Cheers.
This is a big Cheers fan.
Where everybody knows your name.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. We're over. Done. Finished. Kaput.
We made it.
Thank you very much. I couldn't have done it without you, I'll tell
thanks
you.
Thanks to all of our great callers today.
Thanks to the callers. Really all wonderful callers and emailers. Great stuff. Thanks so much. I wish you guys would mix it up more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get Morticia Addams on the show sometime. I know Clarence and I would be. Bye.
I'm out of here. Susan will be visible tomorrow on the show.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.